Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gamma course of Technology and War. My name is Dr. John Emery. It's so nice to virtually meet all of you, and I'm really excited that we're going to be working together throughout the semester on such a fun, interesting, and pertinent topic. So, to kick us off a little bit today, I want to tell you a little bit about myself, show you how the course is organized, and then get you off and set up for success this term. So, the Canvas homepage is going to be your one-stop shop for everything that you need. First and foremost, the syllabus. Familiarize yourself with it as much as possible. I'm free to answer questions about it, but I'll go through it shortly. Go through and see this introductory video. If you're already here, you're seeing it now. Check out the required books for the course. There are 4 required books: War and Technology, A Very Short Introduction, A History of Bombing, Law, Science, Liberalism, and the American Way of War, and Army of None. So these are your 4 required books. You can get them in any format that you would like, whether it be an ebook, PDF, or a good old-fashioned hard copy. I will say I've got mixed opinions from different people about A History of Bombing by Sven Lindquist, in the sense that some people say you absolutely have to get a paperback copy. Others say that you have to read it online. So this book is organized in a very different way. You read by paragraph, and so sometimes it'll tell you you're on 24 and it'll tell you to go to 136 and you flip through. For some people, it's really easy to have it in a book. For other people, they really prefer having it in a PDF format. So check out the book in preview, especially on the Amazon site. Flip through a little bit and familiarize yourself with it so you get a sense of that. The way the course is going to be organized is that each week you will have an introduction by me, your readings, sometimes a lecture, a podcast, a relevant video included in this as well, and then a weekly quiz and a discussion. So quiz and discussion are 30 points each week and make up a substantial portion of your grade. You are allowed to miss 1 quiz. If you would like, your lowest quiz score would be dropped. So you can either skip a week, life comes up, things happen, or if you don't do well on one, you don't have to stress about it too much because one's going to be dropped. So for those of you that haven't participated in a class like this before, it might be somewhat difficult for you to understand how that works. So I'm going to do an example quiz for you real quick. So you get 30 minutes for each quiz. Each question is 5 points each, and then you select the correct answer. So you get about 5 minutes per question with 6 questions. They tend not to be too difficult, especially if you've kind of gone through the readings, listened to the lectures, etc. So let me just take you through real quick. What is the name of your professor? John Emery, spelled with an E, not an O like the university. Click next. Where's the University of Oklahoma located? Wherever you may be chiming in from across the world, OU is in Oklahoma. How will you perform in the class? All of you will be excellent. The name of this course is What and War. It is definitely technology. And which books should you purchase for the course? The answer is obviously all of them, but I'm going to do mess up just so you can see what that looks like. And if I have a question at the course, where can I find the answer? The library is helpful, but always look to the syllabus. ChatGPT won't help you at all for this course. So you have 30 minutes to go through this. Obviously, you can check through your book, check through your notes, etc. while you're taking the quiz. It'll be submitted, and you will see what the correct answer is after each one. Especially when you get it incorrect, it will tell you which one was right. So this is what the quiz will look like every single week, and you'll always have 30 minutes to complete it. Discussion is another important part of the class. So Every week you'll be given 4 prompts that are kind of big, broad questions about the readings that you need to go through and respond to. Each week, you need to respond to at least 2 of the prompts, and each should be roughly 1 to 2 paragraphs. So make sure you give some thought to them, etc. One thing that is also required of you is that you respond to at least 2 posts of your classmates. So this interaction aims to demonstrate a robust discussion between all of you. It's difficult to build a kind of cohesive class environment if you're just talking to yourself or talking to me. So the point of this is to really make it a discussion between people. So when you go in, you can write your 2 paragraphs. You can just say like prompt 1, write. Prompt 4, write. And then you can reply. Once you do that, you will be able to see your classmates' posts and reply to them and give some responses. So obviously, expectations for discussion are that we want to have a good virtual community. We want to chat with each other, express your point of view within these discussions, always be cordial, understand that people are coming from very different backgrounds and perspectives, and try and learn from them, right? If someone has a perspective that you're like, wow, I don't really agree with that, find something from the text that you think, hey, I really found what you thought was very interesting. I found this in the text. I'm wondering what you think about it, right? It maybe goes against what you said. So obviously, be adults, be cordial, be kind, but also don't shy away from disagreeing with each other, because if everyone agrees, it's not going to be a fun class. Just do it very politely and don't disrespect each other. So I'll be moderating that throughout the semester as well. So that's what it's going to look like every single week. Just so you know, each week will show your course. So for example, this will come up the first week of class, and you have until Sunday night. So class starts on Monday. You have until Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Central to complete the quiz and the discussion. So you always have until the following Sunday. And I will drop and open the following week's program on that Friday. So you start class on Monday, you get through, say you do all your quiz and discussion by Friday, you can go ahead and get started on the weekend for the following one. So that's just a little bit about how it works. So you'll see it kind of automatically populate here in your Canvas page. Always happy to answer questions via email. My email is john.emery@ou.edu. So let me take you a little bit through the syllabus here. Please take the time, read through it. But this is a really fun class. I've taught it at all different levels across years, and it's really fun to kind of grow and adapt it as things change. But I think one of the key things for this class is that people make technology and technology makes people, right? You cannot have technology determine outcomes in war. It is a part of the contextual circumstances that change the way in which humans can think, talk about war, politics, economic, social, and interpersonal relations. So again, these are your required books that you need to have. These 4 books, anything else that is required will be provided in Canvas page, either by PDF or a link online. The main ideas for this course are for you to describe technological innovations in the history of warfare and their impact on society, apply theories of technological and societal transformation to interpret how military innovation has impacted experiences of war, assess common arguments for and against technological determinism and the social construction of technology. So basically understand how and why society and technology interacts in really powerful ways. Demonstrate your knowledge of the intersection of technology and what Stephanie Carvin and Michael John Williams call the American way of war. And finally, interpret the relationship between visions for the future. You cannot have technological innovation without imagining the future. And throughout the class, we'll get quite a bit into how at different stages of history people imagined what the future would be like. So the thing you always care about most and you ask the most questions on, your assignments and grading. Weekly quizzes, 210 points. Same for online discussion. Again, your lowest score is dropped, or if you've been doing very well, you can choose not to participate in a week. Or if you got a week, lots of things come up with family, with work, you can skip it, right? I know it's only an 8-week course, but I also understand that a lot of you are working very busy schedules, so I want to be accommodating for that. You also have one film review, 2 single-space pages. A list of approved films is on the website to talk about how technology and society interact in those spaces. You'll also have one analytical paper due, both an outline of it, like a 1-page outline, and an analytical research paper, which I'll talk about later on in the semester. But familiarize yourself with this. But the big assignment, obviously, due week 8 of class, with your outline due week 5, is your analytical paper. You're going to want to explore the intersection of a specific technology of war and its impact on war and society. This paper is meant to be a deep dive into a singular technology of war broadly defined. You'll want to dig into its origin, its impact, its utility, and broader societal implications. It's a traditional research essay, a thesis statement, a wide variety of research evidence cited in your preferred citation format. I don't care if you use MLA, in-text, footnote, endnote, etc. I just want to see that you are drawing from a wide variety of sources, including, of course, the course texts, etc. So for example, don't want to be too wide. If you want to say, I want to write about air power, thousands of books have been written on that. You would pick something specific like the SR-71 Blackbird. You can talk a little bit about how it was developed, some of the culture around it, how its technology impacted its context, like the Cold War, etc. You can get creative. I've had students before do things about coinage and war in war. I also had students focus on a specific technology that was dual use, like GPS or the highway system. Or you could focus on a specific battle, right? You can choose a historical battle that very much interests you. Be creative in this. I'll talk you through in the outline section for different ideas if you're a little too narrow or a little too broad. But really use your imagination here. This is your opportunity to dig into something that you find interesting. So film review, again, due at the end of the term, Friday of week 8. 2 single-spaced pages, basically looking at themes of the film to concrete issues and readings, lectures, discussions. So understanding how pop culture influences our understandings of war and technology. So this is basically what the course looks like. You can go through here and see the schedule, basically what you're going to be doing each week. And on the Canvas page, you're just going to see a little bit more detail with intro videos, lectures, extra podcasts, some fun extra videos as well, to kind of give you a bit more understanding than just the readings alone. We're going through an entire history of warfare and technology in 8 weeks. Obviously, there's going to be quite a bit of reading here, but don't let it overwhelm you. The books are quite accessible and I think pretty fun and interesting. Nothing is too difficult. They're quite readable. So keep up with the readings as much as possible. As I said, they drop the Friday before always. So at end of week 1 Friday, you're going to see this one, and your week 1 quiz discussion are due Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So this is kind of an overview of what it'll look like. Ideas of war in the past and future, industrialized warfare. Obviously, if we're doing World War I and World War II in one lecture, not doing it justice, but you'll get the picture. Birth of the Atomic Age, that's a bit more of my area of expertise. The Science of Warfare, Technology and the War on Terror, and Army of None. So getting through all of this, you can see it's pretty straightforward, goes more or less very chronological for us to go through. So that's it for my introduction. Thank you so much. I look forward to having you throughout the class. And please don't hesitate to reach out to me via email if you have any questions come up.